25th Amendment, Part 3. Observable evidence of Biden's physical and mental decline. Imagine watching the President of the United States ask where a congresswoman is, months after she died in a car crash. Imagine seeing him fall repeatedly, confuse living world leaders with ones who've been dead for decades, and struggle through a debate so badly his own party forces him to drop out of the race. Now imagine all of this happening while he controls America's nuclear weapons. This isn't hypothetical. This actually happened. What about the constitutional system designed to handle presidential disabilities? It completely failed. This is part 3 in the series on the 25th Amendment. If you haven't seen parts 1 and 2, you need to watch those parts for a complete understanding of problems the 25th Amendment was designed to fix, and in the end failed its most important test. Part 1 explained how the 25th Amendment was designed to solve problems about presidential succession and disability that the founders never addressed. Part 2 explains the technical requirements of the 25th Amendment's Section 4, the provision for removing an incapacitated president, and the potential dangers of misuse. The call of Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker to misuse Section 4 and remove President Trump based on policy disagreements, not incapacity, is explained in Part 2. Pritzker's improper, dangerous, and misleading call was parroted across social media. In Parts 3, 4, and 5, the series shifts gears to the opposite problem. What happens when action to remove the president under Section 4 is warranted, but proves impossible to execute? This is the story of how America's constitutional system failed during Biden's final 3 years in office. The series also demonstrates how even people designated as independent investigators became participants in concealing Biden's challenges from the American people, along with a complicit media. Parts 3, 4, and 5 detail facts that should have triggered the 25th Amendment's Section 4 process, intended to transfer presidential powers from an incapacitated president to the vice president, and why the process never got started. Section 4 failed because those constitutionally designated to act, the vice president and the cabinet, would not take action because personal interests and political ambitions could be damaged by acting to test Biden's mental capabilities. As the series progresses, it will become clear that 25th Amendment provisions for replacing an incapable, yet cognizant president against his wishes are, as a practical matter, ineffective. While watching, start to consider potential Section 4 reforms and possible amendment to correct the dangerous time bomb in the 25th Amendment. What changes might be ratified to effectively sideline a mentally challenged president when necessary and prevent possible political abuse as suggested by Pritzker? When reforms come to mind, leave them in the comments. Remember, any change to the 25th Amendment's Section 4 will require a new amendment. It's time to recount the public evidence of Biden's mental and physical challenges to start to understand the problems with Section 4 and why failure to alter Section 4 leaves America with a ticking nuclear constitutional bomb. From 2021 through 2024, Americans watched as a series of incidents raised serious questions about whether President Biden was physically and mentally fit to be president. In March 2021, at Joint Base Andrews in Maryland, Biden tripped 3 times while climbing the tall outdoor stairs to Air Force One before a flight to Georgia. The White House insisted he was fine, but the incident raised concerns about his physical fitness for the stressful and demanding job of President of the United States. In June 2022, Biden fell off his bicycle near his beach house in Delaware. His foot got stuck while he was getting off the bike. While the White House again insisted he was fine, public anxiety continued to grow about whether he could stay on his feet. In February 2023, Biden stumbled and fell near the top of the tall Air Force One stairs while boarding after a trip to Poland. In June 2023, Biden fell at an Air Force Academy graduation. It took an Air Force official and 2 Secret Service agents to help him get back up. Members of Biden's staff had worries that he may have a bad fall. His military guard began to follow him to the stairs. His schedule and physical environment were altered as accommodations. Biden started using the shorter, more stable stairs entering near the belly of Air Force One instead of the tall outdoor stairs that presidents typically use. An NBC News analysis found that in the weeks following that viral fall at the Air Force Academy, Biden's use of the shorter stairs jumped from 37% to 84% of the time. Even on the shorter stairs, Biden stumbled twice in a single incident in February 2024 at Andrews Air Force Base. The frequent physical missteps and suggested a chronic and serious situation. The staff's best efforts simply could not prevent the president from wandering off into the jungle. Beyond physical issues, Biden made unforced verbal errors provoking questions about his memory and cognitive status, and clearly were not simple gaffes. In September 2022, Biden, at a White House conference about hunger, scanned the audience and asked, "Jackie, are you here? Where's Jackie?" He was talking about Indiana Representative Jackie Walorski. Here's the problem. Jackie Walorski had died in a car crash the month before. It's not like Biden was unaware of her death. He'd put out a statement about her death just weeks earlier. He had issued an order for U.S. flags to be flown at half-mast in her honor. Yet Biden actively asked the whereabouts of the deceased congresswoman at a public conference. In June 2023, while speaking at the U.S. Air Force Academy in Colorado, The Guardian reported Biden referred to Indian Prime Minister Narendra Modi as the leader of China. In February 2024, Biden was talking to service workers in Las Vegas and telling a story about a 2021 G7 summit with world leaders in England. As he told the story, he got the French president and his country wrong. In the story, Biden referred to Mitterrand from Germany, France. The problem? François Mitterrand had once been president of France, but he'd been dead for 28 years, since 1996. Emmanuel Macron was the French president in 2021 and remains so in 2025. The White House staff actually fixed the official transcript, crossing out Mitterrand and putting in Macron. This was Biden's second error that week, involving a dead European leader. Biden referred to the late German Chancellor Helmut Kohl, who passed in 2017, when he meant former German Chancellor Angela Merkel. These were more than slips of the tongue. He was confusing living persons with others who'd been long dead and calling upon a dead congresswoman to make remarks. These kinds of confusions, mixing up the present with the distant past, forgetting that people have died, are patterns suggesting more than normal forgetfulness. Members of Congress, particularly Republicans, started calling for Biden to be removed under the 25th Amendment's Section 4. In October 2023, Republican Speaker Mike Johnson stated publicly that he believed Biden was experiencing cognitive decline. On June 28, 2024, House Resolution 3036 was introduced by Representatives Clay Higgins and Chip Roy. The resolution called upon Vice President Kamala Harris to convene the cabinet and give notice to Congress of Biden's incapacity. The biggest moment came in June 2024 when Biden agreed to a televised debate with Donald Trump. The debate was supposed to assuage concerns about Biden's mental and physical capacity. Instead, Biden's performance provoked panic among Democrats. Biden looked feeble and frail. His voice was weak. His answers rambled incoherently, while he lost his train of thought. The debate was so bad that it eventually led to Biden dropping out of the presidential race. After leaving office in 2025, Biden denied any cognitive decline while he was president. He said people holding that belief were wrong. The public evidence tells a different story. The next video in this series, Part 4, recounts a federal prosecutor's investigation documenting memory problems so severe that a dangerous constitutional paradox arose. The physical falls, the memory lapses, the public struggles, and ultimately Biden's disastrous debate performance with then-former President Trump were all visible to the entire world. What was happening behind closed doors was even more alarming. Federal investigators were discovering classified documents in Biden's garage and office. When Biden was interviewed about documents found in his office and garage, the status of his memory would shock the nation and create a constitutional crisis few wanted to acknowledge. Part 4 reveals how discovery of classified documents led to a special counsel criminal investigation of Joe Biden. That investigation documented memory problems so severe that special counsel Robert Herr said Biden couldn't be held criminally responsible for his criminal activity. Yet Biden remained president with access to America's nuclear arsenal. Don't miss Part 4 as evidence mounts on Biden's infirmities, yet no action is taken. Subscribe so you'll know when Part 4 drops. Thanks for watching, and before going to Part 4, be sure to give this video a like. Subscribe to Constitutional Soundbites and join in combating constitutional illiteracy.